discretion is advised.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're out here on a large commercial permission and we're going to do some pest control. Now it's a bit later in the day. My plan is to use the Western Airgun Sidewinder. This is in 25 caliber and this produces upwards of 60 foot-pounds, but I've got this turned down to about 45 foot-pounds. And the reason for that is we are using it around the farm. There's not much of a need for much more power, but the nice thing about this gun is it's very lightweight, very easy to carry. Obviously it's tiny, so it's one of those guns that you can use in a lot of different situations out here on the farm. But for now, we're gonna check the zero on this and then we'll hike around a little and see what we can get down with the Sidewinder. One of the most common animals that we hunt out on these farms are ground squirrels. They cause a lot of damage to these properties, and typically when the weather cools down, you're not going to see as much activity, but the ones that we do see are the adults. And those are the ones that we want to take down. We don't want them to have the opportunity to reproduce, because a pair of ground squirrels can turn into a couple hundred of them in just about a year, and so they reproduce really quickly, and so we always try to take as many as possible. Prior to getting out on the farm, we spent some time out on the range testing and just having some fun with the mini Sidewinder. This gun is select fire, and although I see no real use for the full auto feature as far as hunting, it was still fun to empty a few magazines on some pumpkins. I get lots of people asking me about the trigger on the Sidewinder, and it's definitely not match grade, it's not two-stage, but it's not heavy at all, and it's really quite predictable after you get some trigger time on the gun. It is a much longer pull, is really the best I can describe it. After getting some extensive trigger time and sending a lot of lead down range, it was time to give the barrel a good cleaning. And I always like to do that to maintain the accuracy. The Sidewinder Compact does have a 17-inch TJ Enterprises barrel. And the overall length of this is 26.5 inches, and that's with the moderator. And so it is a very short little gun. The barrel is easily removed for cleaning. To remove it, you just loosen the two barrel clamps, and the barrel threads right out of the receiver. And so that makes it pretty easy to be able to maintain the barrel for any kind of cleaning. After getting the barrel cleaned, I got it back on the gun, mounted my scope, and we were ready to head out on our trip to the farm. And I was definitely excited to get out with the gun and try and do a little bit of hunting with it. Aside from the ground squirrels, this particular property does have a big issue with both skunks and coyotes. And so we're going to put some good use to the mini Sidewinder tonight, see what we can get down. I've got the tactical CV Life. This is a 1.6x24, and I've got the NV100 on here, which is a clip-on unit. Seems to work pretty well with this gun. It keeps it light, keeps it maneuverable, and so we'll see how it goes tonight. Marley and I are set up here in the stand, and I've got a good view. We're going to give it probably a good couple hours in this spot, and then we'll move to a different area. But usually as soon as the sun goes down, you start to see activity here, because there are quite a bit of chicken carcasses out here. Really the furthest shot that I'm going to be taking is 50 yards. We got our first skunk of the night at 40 yards. This guy was feeding off the chicken carcasses that we left out here for the coyotes. It's pretty common to see him do that. Later, when we get into the chicken coop, we're going to go after the skunks that get in there, because they go after the eggs, they'll attack the chickens, and they cause a lot of problems. And so we try to take as many as we can. This is an average size one that I've seen here. We ended up going inside the chicken building, and we just saw no activity from the skunks. We didn't see any rats. Hopefully we can have some more coyote activity. Whenever I come out to the farm, I always like to keep things simple as far as cooking. I just brought some chili, which I'm heating up. I've got some chips, and then for later I've got some coffee. And so it's nice just to keep things, you know, simple as far as food goes. But it is a bit cold, and so the chili should be nice. So I really hope you guys enjoyed coming along with Marley and I out to the farm. It was fun to get away for an overnight. We had some luck with the ground squirrels, with a collared dove, with a skunk, and I really wish we could have gotten a coyote, but it just wasn't in the cards for this trip. I was not able to get any within 100 yards. It was starting to get really frustrating because there was a lot of them out there. I think at one point there was 5 of them out there just beyond 100 yards. And so it was kind of frustrating because I wasn't really set up for it. I was hoping to get within, 30 to 50 yards. That's kind of where I was comfortable and I was set up with the gun. But I think for future reference, I think I'm going to be a little more careful with where I set up my stand. I think they were familiar with where we were because they were seeing my IR light. I was watching them out there, they were staring at us. And so I think I just had the wrong situation. We will be back there, but overall this gun worked really well. It's a nice little gun that you can carry around on the farm. I like it because I can turn it down, to 45 foot-pounds. I can turn it up to 60 foot-pounds. And I can keep the regulator set at just under 150 bar. And so it is a versatile little gun, very easy to tune and adjust. And I like the setup with the compact scope on here. I think it works well as a point and shoot type little gun. The nice thing about the Mini is you can upgrade, you can add a longer barrel if you want, you can go with a bigger bottle. You can essentially turn this gun into the standard version. But I like the small package. It's easy to travel with, easy to carry, very easy to shoulder and maneuver. Really my biggest dislike with this gun is the safety. It can be a bit awkward if you're sitting, not so much from the bench. And the other thing, it's not the best looking gun. It's not going to win any beauty competitions or anything like that. But it is functional and it functions very well. It's a very powerful semi-auto gun. It does have the full auto feature, which can be fun out at the range if you're just doing some plinking, but I see no purpose for it in a hunting situation. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. I've had fun with it. We're going to continue to use it. I really appreciate Airguns of Arizona sending us this to be able to field use. If you guys are interested in this or any of the stuff that we used, I will leave links for that in the description. But as usual, I really appreciate you guys and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next adventure. If you guys enjoy these videos, give us a thumbs up and subscribe if you like. We put out new videos every week.